Hello?
Miss Lestico, guess what time it is?
What time?
It's time for math!
Yay!
Hey, first grade, welcome to your last day of measuring.
Oh, wow. This unit has been so much fun getting to measure different things using tons of different forms of non-standard measurement.
That's right, and it's really good for us to learn, Miss Lestico, because we're going to measure all the time in life. What's our target today?
Our target is the same as yesterday. It says I can use non-standard measurement to estimate and measure objects.
Oh, I know what estimate means now, Miss Lestico.
What is it, Miss Lyon?
It's to make a guess, but make a smart guess based on what I can see and what I already know.
That's right. We don't actually have to measure everything all the time. Sometimes it's really helpful to make a guess of what you think it might be so that you have the correct number of things to, actually measure.
That's right. Well, I think before we get started, Miss Lestico, do we have a cool song we can listen to?
We do. This will really help us review our measurements.
How many of me will it take to stack up to a tree? I am smaller than she is, and you are smaller than me. I measure that tree with 5 of me, or 8 of you instead. My 3 hands measure 1 backpack, my 10 feet make 1 bed. I have 12 books, or 6 boots, 2 mats, or 8 bats, or 44 paper clips. I hold hard. There are ways to measure with all kinds of treasure. Try it out now, don't be shy.
All right, let's go ahead and start measuring. I'm going to measure this tape dispenser using my googly eyes. Now, I know one of the rules of measurement says that everything that I use for non-standard measurement has to be the same size. Well, I can tell that some of these googly eyes are really big, some are really little, some are medium sized. So I'm going to want to get all of the googly eyes that are the same size in order to measure. And I'm going to use these medium-sized googly eyes in order to measure my tape dispenser. I'm going to go ahead and estimate how long do I think this tape dispenser is going to be. Now, I know that I'm going to have to start at the furthest point of my tape dispenser and then go all the way to the end. So I'm not going to go around the tape dispenser because that wouldn't show the length of it. Well, comparing the googly eye to the tape dispenser, I'm noticing it's pretty small. I might need maybe 12 googly eyes to measure the length of this tape measure. So let's see how close my estimate is. All right, we're starting at the very beginning. I'm making sure that they are in a straight line when I'm going across. I'm not going to slant them down to the end of my tape measure or go up. I'm going to make sure they go straight across so I can measure in a straight line. And then you might have to move your hand again to make sure you're at the very end point of the object you're measuring. Well, let's see how many googly eyes I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, it was so close in my estimate. But this tape measure is actually 11 googly eyes long.
Okay, now I'm going to measure this rectangular prism. I remember when we were learning those 3D shapes. And I want to use a non-standard unit of measure of these interlocking cubes. And the great thing about using these cubes is they are all already the same size. And I know that that's a really important rule when I'm measuring. Okay, before I get started, I want to estimate how long do I think that this rectangular prism is? Well, I'm seeing these cubes are kind of on the smaller side. And if I line it up at the end, it doesn't take up that much space. So I'm going to estimate it's going to take 10 cubes. Now, it's okay if I'm not exactly correct because it's just an estimate and I'm just making a guess based on what I can see. So now I'm going to start measuring. I'm making sure to line it up all the way at the end, and I'm going to go in a straight line until I get to the other end. I don't want any gaps or any overlaps. And since these cubes are interlocking, I can push them together to really make sure there's no gaps. Okay, I went from one end to the other end of my shape. Now let's see, how many cubes did it really take? Remember, my estimate was 10. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this rectangular prism was 12 cubes long. Now, that wasn't my estimate, but it's okay. It was still pretty close, and that tells me that that was a good estimate.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and estimate the length of this expo marker with these little erasers right here. So looking at the erasers compared to the marker, they're really small, but the marker isn't that long. I'm going to estimate that this might be about 9 erasers long. So let's go ahead and start measuring. I'm starting at the very beginning. I'm making sure that my erasers are touching end to end, not overlapping, not gapping, but touching. And they're going in a straight line across my straight marker. And we're going all the way to the end. Let's see how close my estimate is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, so this marker was actually 7 erasers long. Now, my estimate was close. I'm not going to go back and change it because we have to make sure that our estimate is before we measure. It's a guess of what we think it might be. And now I know that it's actually 7 erasers long.
Okay, I'm going to measure one more thing. This box of crayons. And I want to use the non-standard unit of paper clips. Now, I know that paper clips can sometimes come in different sizes. So I want to make sure that they're all the same size. I see here are some small paper clips, but uh-oh, that's a big paper clip. I don't want to use that one. It's the only one I have. So I'm going to use these smaller paper clips. And even though they're different colors, I don't have to change that as long as they're the same size. Okay, let me just make sure. Oh yeah, they are. They are still the same size. Okay, now before I start measuring, I need to estimate. Okay, so if I'm going to estimate, I have to do this before. Let me see. Would 10 be a good estimate? No, I can see right here. One paper clip is taking up almost like a third of that crayon box. So 10 would not be a good estimate. But would 2 be a good estimate? No, I can clearly see that it's going to need more than 2. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to estimate 4. I think that this crayon box is going to be 4 paper clips long. So I'm starting at the end, and I'm going to put them end to end, making sure they're all facing the same way. Okay, let's look and see how long this crayon box really is. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and then this last one, it kind of goes a little bit past. If I took it away, I wouldn't be all the way at the end yet. So there is room to add this, but is it all the way 4? No, not really. I have 1, 2, 3, and then half of one more. So this crayon box is really 3 1/2 paper clips, which is pretty close to how I estimated it. It's your turn.
On Seesaw, you're going to have your summative for all of measurement.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're going to have to use everything that we've learned in order to measure some objects, estimate how long you think they might be, and you're going to have some things that are already measured. You're going to have to describe if the object is measured correctly or incorrectly and which rule you know how it's measured.
Make sure you pay close attention. We know you're going to do a great job. And of course, when you're done, make sure you click that green check mark.
Good luck!